Long, long time ago in a small village lived 7 brothers. They were all married, but their youngest brother, Longvar, was still unmarried. And so his brothers often tells him to settle down, but he was not interested in settling down, and used to spend his days in trapping birds, particularly on the branches of the big impong tree where birds sang and chirps joyfully all day. One day, as Longvar was busy setting his traps, a magical bird, who was a representative of the 7 sisters of the Lord of Heaven, suddenly swooped down and broke his trap. Furious, Longvar caught the bird ready to punish it, but to his surprise the bird spoke, pleading with him, "Please release me. If you let me go, I will bring you a beautiful woman to be your wife. I will send down the 7 sisters of the Lord of Heaven. Catch the last one, sprinkle water on her, and she will become human and your wife." Reluctantly, Longvar released the bird. True to its word, the bird sent down the 7 sisters. As instructed, Longvar caught the youngest sister, sprinkled water on her, and she transformed into a beautiful woman. Her name was Longlai. Overjoyed, they got married and returned to Longvar's home. His family was thrilled to see him settled at last. But their happiness was short-lived. A magician visited the family and revealed the secret that Longlai is not a real human but is an incarnated human of the 7 sisters from the Lord of Heaven. Shocked and suspicious, Longvar's family began to treat Longlai differently. They ignored her and even refused to eat the meals she prepared. Heartbroken and feeling unwelcome, Longlai couldn't bear the rejection anymore. She left a letter for Longvar and fled back to her heavenly home. Longvar was heartbroken when he finds out that his wife has ran away, leaving him, and because of that he remains sad all the time. So, he also left his home and returned to the impong tree, resuming his days of trapping birds. One day, the same bird appeared again. Longvar sadly said to the bird, "You deceived me. My wife is gone and I'm all alone. What do I do now?" The bird replied calmly, "Don't worry. I will help you reunite with her. Tie a rope to my tail and hold on tightly. I'll take you to her." Longvar followed the bird's instructions. The bird carried him up into the heavens, to the place where Longlai lived. When they arrived, Longlai hid him in her knotted hair to protect him, as humans were not allowed there. Days passed, and Longlai finally approached her father. "Father, I will do whatever you ask of me," she said, "but in return, you must give me what I love most." Her father agreed, and suddenly Longlai spread out her knotted hair and Longvar appears before them and said, "This is the one I love most," she declared. Her father was impressed but gave Longvar 2 conditions. First, he said, "You must identify my daughter among 7 flying birds in the sky. If you succeed, you may have her as your wife." Longlai had already prepared Longvar secretly for this test. "Look for the bird with the upward pointed and sleek tail," she had told him. Longvar carefully observed the birds and pointed to the right one. "That's her," he exclaimed. Her father nodded but added, "Now for the second test. 7 fingers will be placed through a hole. You must identify my daughter's finger." Once again, Longlai had guided Longvar secretly. "My pointed finger will bend slightly in the middle," she had told him from before. Remembering her words, Longvar identified her finger without hesitation. "This is her finger," he declared confidently. Her father was impressed, and since Longvar passed both the tests, he was allowed to marry Longlai, after staying as a resident son-in-law for 3 years in Longlai's grandfather's house and another 7 years in her father's house. Longvar and Longlai were finally married with a grand celebration. On that marriage, the bird carried a large bowl, the bear brought a big sack, and the other birds of paradise brought many gifts for the wedding. They all partied, danced, sang songs, and celebrated together. Finally, Longlai and Longvar returned to the human world, where they lived happily ever after.